Hey guys, this is Comic and I'm going to show you a bit of a strategy that I use to approach drawing pages of my latest webcomic, Saintly, that might help you out too when you're drawing your own comics. So let's get right into it. This is a way of approaching the art for your pages if you are 100% planning to print out your comic. And that is to draw for the spread. And what that means is you're drawing every two pages side by side as if they were one piece. This is something that I learned from this Shonen Jump guide to making manga that I read a long time ago. I found it in Walmart. I was just like, oh snap, okay, let me get this for some extra tips. And the best tip that I got from this entire book was to treat every couple of pages as if it were one large image. That isn't actually written on this tip. It's written somewhere else in the book, but this is the example that they showed. So this is the way that it looks wrong, where all the panels are like close-ups. We don't see any like variation in the shots, and the speech balloons are too like covered up. Whereas this is the more correct, quote unquote, way to show the same information, which gives emphasis to one image here, and then the rest are almost like supporting images. This is what you would flip through when you're reading the manga. You'd flip and then you'd see this, where you're looking at this page, on one side, and then this page on the other side. And one image is going to be the most dominant. It's going to be like the focal point image, and the rest are going to be in support of that. And so that is actually how I'm approaching uh, making Saintly, and it's how I approached it in the past, where if you look at these two pages, you can tell which one is the dominant image. You can tell which one is the major image that that I want the eye to be drawn to, and that is of the two main characters here on this page. And then this is the second biggest panel, where it is drawing you over to the next page to see what happens next. And that is because that's exactly how I planned it to print out in the book. So if you take a look at it, it's the same exact way. When you flip to the page, you get these two on one big page, or one big panel on the left page, and then all the other panels are supporting it. I've been using this tip ever since I read it in that Shonen Jump book over, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm applying the same principle right here with chapter 2. And I've been doing that for the last few pages. And it's helping me come up with stronger overall composition for each page. For me, when I'm drawing pages, the thing that matters most is, are all the fundamentals on point? Like, are they contributing towards a clear reading experience for the reader? And with that, I'm going to show you how I start to approach the page. So what I do first is I'm kind of in an awkward position, so I gotta show you. I will go ahead and make a grid for each page. So I will start by drawing a rule of thirds, basically a rule of thirds grid for each page. It's going to be light to the point where you can't see it, but the lines are there. So I'll have the rule of thirds for each page, And it doesn't mean the panels are going to be split like that, but having this perspective or having this compositional grid as the first thing that I start a page with gives me an idea of where things should be placed basically in the course of of the drawing. So I'll do that for each page, and then basically since on each page these bottom lines will line up, those are like the connecting lines between each page. So if we're treating this as a single image, like a spread of like a single as a single image, we're gonna have a focal point, and that is when I look to my layouts, the layouts that I did for the two pages, and then I will go through the information in the layout to see which pages or which panels are the most necessary to make big, which ones are necessary to make small, and how I should divvy up that information on this page. So when I decide, like, okay, this panel is the one that is actually important, what I'll do is I will, it's looking like this one right here is going to be the biggest, and that's going to be the most important. And so what I'll do is then I'll just lightly do a, what do you call it? I'll do a golden rule, one of those swirlies that kind of gets like puts an object in that sort of area of most interest. So I just do that lightly over the whole piece, and now we have the area where that panel is going to be the most is going to draw the most attention, and so I want to put most attention in that area for the two pages. And then I'll also focus on what is the focal point for each page separately. And in doing that, I'm like doing grids upon grids, and it's helping me place certain elements of the story and of the characters before I even get started with the drawing. And that helps me like arrange the panels for clarity before I even get into the actual drawing of the panels. So in this case, I do like a little midline down the middle. I'll even like split it up into four quadrants because that's another way to figure out basic um, compositional elements for your story. If something is up on the higher quadrant, that might be more important than something that is a little bit lower. Um, and then I'm always making sure the story goes from left to right because that's the reading order of American comics. And because it is spread across two pages, I usually mark the rule of thirds points, one here, one down here, one up here, and then one down here. And now nothing has to be exact. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. And nothing has to adhere to these things, but it's just a general guideline to give me some something on the page so I'm not working with an exactly blank page every single time. I don't even this is not even the correct way to draw the golden rule swirl, but it's just quick enough for me to rough in some some semblance of a composition and get the page started. So that is how I've been starting most pages of issue 2, and I'm drawing them by twos. So I'm drawing them as if it's one image, and I'm considering what it's gonna look like when people flip to the page. What are their eyes gonna go to first? Um, how does the story continue to progress over the course of the panels? And I'll even put like a Z. Sorry, you're not gonna be able to see basically any of this by the end, but I'll put like a Z because these two pages, it's not a double page spread, so these two pages are to be read separately. But I put a Z to indicate the speech balloons order of reading. Like it's just how you're gonna be reading the comic normally. So I'll put a Z. That's the order people are gonna be reading in. And another little side tip you can do is to put your speech balloons along the Z. And this is only if the speech is there. That way, when people are reading, they look at the speech balloon and then the image that the speech balloon is pertaining to, and then they look at the other speech balloon. Meaning they have to cross through the image to get to the next bit of information. Otherwise, if you put your speech balloons around the image and just nobody's interacting with the image, like the eye is going to be going to the speech balloons because they're automatically the point of highest contrast with the art. So people are going to be automatically reading the speech balloons first. If the speech balloons never cross through the image, people aren't going to be as enticed to look at the image or stop on the image if your balloons don't go through it. So that is another little tip to consider when you're arranging the page from the start. Like you want to look at your layout, make sure you're including all the information in the layout, and finding the best way to arrange your page based on your layout. Your layout is, the way I do layouts, I don't do them solidly at all. They're rough as hell. But that's so I can get the pages out in order so that I can draw the comic and figure out a better way to arrange information on the actual page, because that's what I'll be drawing, and that's how the reader will see the art. So the way it is in my layouts is almost never how it actually turns out on the page, but it is pretty close. It's just enough so that I can understand it and my editors can understand it. So I hope this tip helped anybody want to figure out how to compose their pages better. And that will be pretty much it. Check out the comic that I'm currently working on. It is called Saintly. It is a demon chase horror action comedy about two best friends who have to outrun the demon loan sharks that they borrowed from. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop Demon Hunters without the K-pop. And the story backs the main character into a corner where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And we get to see the ramifications of her choice, and if she can hide this deal with the devil from her friend, or if it will tear them apart. And I hope you read my comic in the description and check out the story. It should appear in your email inbox or your spam folder if you don't see it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.